Hello everybody and welcome to the Wooden Sheep Gaming Podcast. Today we've got a lot of lovely news to talk about, but before that we've got to introduce our great guests. We've got the finger-licking good Ragewild.
Hello.
We've got Scaly Thomi. And
Scaly, why? But hi.
Just, you can't question it, that's the name I gave you.
Saying I'm a lizard?
Yeah, I think you are. And we've got Tasmanian Guf.
Hello.
And you've got me, birthday boy Wooden Sheep, because tomorrow's my birthday. And guys, the best news of all, I finally got myself a gaming chair. So Thomi, tomorrow we're gonna play some Counter-Strike. I'm gonna be popping headshots left and right, like it's nobody's business. This is what I've been missing, basically.
No, you've just ruined that already. Where I'm from, if you call yourself birthday boy, or if you wish somebody else a happy birthday before it actually happens, that brings very bad luck.
Shit.
So
Am I gonna?
You're already done for.
No. Oh no. So I'm not gonna do well in Counter-Strike tomorrow. I'll just play Insurgency instead. It's fine. So
yeah, I guess that works.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We've got a nice episode today ahead of us, and I think one of the best news stories we could open up with is one of our favorite games has finally launched. I've been waiting for this for so long. DayZ has finally released after all this time.
Oh my god.
Really?
I think it was Rage, you brought it to my attention last week.
Yeah.
DayZ has finally reached 1.0, I think is what they call it.
Yeah, it was even on the Steam front page.
Yeah, like, DayZ is launched, guys. You've been waiting all this time. Now I'm
literally an hour ago, I was randomly like on YouTube and Twitch, and I saw two completely separate people that spent hours building a car, get into the car just for the car to fly off into the fucking sunset. Like
in DayZ, you're talking about, I assume.
In DayZ, yes.
Nice. I mean, oh my god, man.
It's still it's not done. It's
when did this
did they
come
do
out?
any changes, or did they just release it?
They've been working on it for years. I mean, yeah, it's reached 1.0 like patch notes or whatever. So I'm sure
they
it's been changes.
Right.
They pretend it's out. They just put it on 1.0 so it's on Steam. Promoted.
DayZ launch date. Let's see. It originally came out 2013, December 2013.
5 years ago.
Oh my god!
Cars still fly up into the air.
Damn, dude.
I can get you that clip if you want to show it on stream.
Sure, if you want to find it. Guf, have any of you played the game? I know Guf has. I believe you reviewed it, right? I think your review was like a one line or one paragraph, basically saying that nothing works or something like that.
I just said that I thought it was bad, I think.
Also, when did you play it? Like years
maybe
ago.
Maybe a year
right?
ago now.
Oh, only one year ago? Okay.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, that was really funny. Like, DayZ has released. That's not expected, but there you go.
Yeah,
what, Rage?
nah, it's weird. Like, they lost their chance completely. Like, because the relevancy's gone. Like, there's so many other games that do the same concept way better.
It's just, I wonder what were the final elements to the game that they added now where they're like, oh, now it's complete, you know? Because, I mean, surely for years it's had a lot of mechanics and stuff that they've already wanted, and they've patched out bugs and stuff like that. I don't know what now they decided now it's done. And now it's 1.0 because, as you said, Thomi, it's still broken and buggy and maybe not entirely completely unplayable, but you know, it's a bit of a weird like gray area. Why say now that it's done?
It's really odd.
All right. Well, if you don't have the clip, I can move on to the second thing.
I sent it to you.
Oh, you sent it? Let's check it out then.
That's one of the two. I found two separate ones from two separate streamers, and the exact same thing happened. And in the other clip, one guy almost got crushed by it as well.
So this is a clip from
Sacriel.
Sacriel. All right. Let's see. Man, I mean, but the game looks a lot better, I feel like, since when it released. Or maybe just I haven't seen it in a long time. I feel like graphically it's a lot better.
I mean, we're also 5 years of
God.
video cards in the future.
There it goes. I didn't even fully center it. Well, there you go. Whatever, you get the idea. All right, so second topic that I thought it really has become some sort of weird trend. In pretty much every episode we talk about bad video game movies. So I'm a huge fan of this series, and I know Ragewild is as well. I don't know if any of you guys played, but did you know that they're trying to do a movie adaptation of Metro?
Oh, really?
No,
Yeah.
never.
Is it a Russian production?
No, here's the funny thing, right? So originally it was a book series by what was his name? Dmitry Glugovsky?
Yep.
Something like that, whatever. And yeah, obviously they made Metro 2033 last light, and they started making a movie production, but they've canceled it for now because can you guys tell me, when you think of Metro, what are the first points that come to your head when you're like, oh, Metro, yeah, this is what makes this series unique?
It's the steampunk, so not steampunk, but
sure.
like this post
Moscow Metro.
Moscow Metro, right? Yeah, well, they wanted to move it to Washington, D.C. in America. And for some reason, they were like, the Nazi and communist factions, we can't really transfer them properly to America, so this isn't working, because they wanted to make it relatable to American audiences, even though tons of Americans have enjoyed the books and games that are set in...
so dumb.
Like... what? It blew my mind, man. I mean, honestly, I'm glad that got cancelled because it's a unique setting. I mean, okay, stuff like that has been done now since then, but it's still pretty unique. This faction war within the metros of Moscow in the post-apocalyptic era or whatever. But yeah, that was really weird to me. It kind of reminded me of, I think, Big Hero 6 is originally a graphic novel that was set in Japan, and they moved it to America as well for the animated movie.
Yeah. That was also weird as hell.
I haven't watched the movie or read the original stuff, but it's always weird to me. Like, I feel like, are we not at a point now where audiences can you not just relate to, oh no, it's in Japan, I can't enjoy the movie. Like, why is that a thing at all?
But Hollywood has been like had that thinking like for years.
Who? What? Hollywood, you said?
Yeah, Hollywood.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if you noticed, but like recent movies from like 2016 on, I suppose, have a lot more Chinese characters in them, like Chinese actors and Chinese, basically characters actually, because they have a huge market, like they know there's a huge market for movies in China, and so they want to appeal to Chinese audiences with that. Like, they add Chinese characters.
Yeah, that does happen. We talked about it in Wildstar as well, where they added some faces. It's just weird. I don't know. Like, certain things appeal to certain markets. Supposedly, I don't know if it actually works. It must be backed up by some sort of statistics, I assume.
Yeah, but the thing is, there's a difference between the setting and the style of the movie. You can look at stuff Bollywood, for example. Bollywood movies, like, they can play in America, but they're like, they have this very unique, like, Indian style where there's like way over the top stuff and lots of just random. I can't really describe it. Everybody who's seen some Bollywood stuff knows exactly what I mean.
Yep.
But you can like have it play in America and be Bollywood, just like you can have a Japanese movie be like, or like a movie that's Japanese playing in America, or an American style movie that plays in Japan. I don't think that you don't really have that overlapping in any way. That's two completely separate things. So why not have an American style movie just play in Russia? It's just, I don't know.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, if you want to make it Hollywood-esque, I mean, that still might take away a little bit from it, but I mean, Metro is kind of Hollywood. Like, there's a bit of Call of Duty syndrome in the campaign sometimes, like, whoa, look at this cool scripted sequence and stuff. Like, yeah, there's tons of Americans that enjoy the game series and books. They'll enjoy the movies as well if you just keep it in Russia. There's no problem with that. Yeah, that was weird to me. Yeah.
Like, it might be also political. Like, they maybe, like,
Possibly.
I'm not sure if they might shoot in Russia. Who the fuck knows?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's still stupid.
Yeah.
I mean, we're not in the Cold War anymore, so.
I mean, they don't need to actually shoot it in Russia.
Well, they
I mean,
kind of do, because most of it will play in the metro, and like people will notice.
Yeah, but they can make a
depends
set.
The Moscow metro look different than any other suburban.
they could make a fake metro.
Yeah, they can make a set. Yeah.
Yeah, they could.
They didn't
Yeah.
actually film it at Mount Doom in Lord of the Rings. Like,
Yeah, I was literally about to say that they didn't
Sorry,
film Lord
Guf.
of the Rings in Middle Earth.
sorry, Guff, I didn't mean to spoil it
Oh,
for you. Mount Doom isn't real. I mean, is it? Because they filmed in New Zealand, Lord of the Rings, right? I believe.
Yeah,
Is
but like a
is
lot
the
of the stuff
mountain-
is CGI.
Obviously, the lava spewing out and stuff is CGI, but is there like an actual mountain that maybe?
Yeah, the mountain range is real. Like the area, the general mountain range and stuff is real. But then you look at the White City. I forget what it's called. Idurath, I think, something like that.
The elven
The White
one?
City. Yeah, the elven one, the
Yeah.
huge white city. They didn't actually. That spoiler. They didn't actually build a huge white city there.
Yeah.
You can make a lot of things work with CGI.
Yeah, but then it's a loss of CGI, and that's not.
You don't
I
even
don't know.
notice it.
It wouldn't be
so much.
interesting for me to watch it though. Still.
It depends. I think
mean-
if CGI is well done, then it
Yeah,
can
dude,
totally
there's tons
impress
of
you.
movies that.
That's what many people criticize
Wait.
about the the first 3 episodes of Star Wars, for example,
I-
because most of it is green screen.
Yeah, but
didn't
because
enjoy
because it's partly like bad CGI. Not all of it is
That's,
good,
it's
but
not bad CGI.
here's
It's just
another-
all CGI.
here's another example though. If you have seen, I think it was Rogue One. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it must have been. Yeah. General Tarkin, like the actor, actually died like many years ago. But
Yeah,
they
but
put
you could
General Tarkin in Rogue One, and it looks so incredibly real that I was like, I went out of it because like I'm not a huge super duper Star Wars nerd. I didn't know that the actor died. I was like, holy shit, he must be old as fuck now. How did they get him to like look so young? And then like I looked it up later. I was like, oh my god, that was CGI. I didn't even notice that.
Really?
Like, yeah.
There are.
I think it was
You'd
very
be
real.
surprised how many things are CG that you might not realize. Just things to touch stuff up. Like they could have a physical metro, like a built one from cheaper materials, like obviously not concrete, and then they touch up a bit with CG to make it look like it's in metro. It definitely doesn't need to be shot in Russia, but yeah. Anyway, yeah. Rage, I know you played the reboot of Prey. I still haven't gotten a chance to try it. Have any of you played it, Thomi, Guf?
Wait, haven't you played it?
No, not yet. Not yet. Because I recently saw something that like surprised me. Does Prey Typhoon Hunter ring a bell?
What?
Rage? There's something called Prey. Let me find it on Steam. I'm not sure if it's like a new
Typhoon
VR
Hunter.
game or Typhon Hunter, not Typhoon.
No idea.
Okay, I wasn't sure if anyone might have heard about it to tell me more about it. Oh, it's mostly negative. But it's a VR game in Prey. In the Prey world, which kind of
Okay.
surprised me, which is kind of cool. And I don't know if you guys saw that Borderlands 2 got remade in VR for PlayStation, and it'll be coming to PC eventually at some point as well.
Interesting.
Yeah. I love Borderlands 2 so much, but I don't know if that's the kind of game I want to play in VR because it's so long. And same with Skyrim and Fallout. I'm sure I'd like to visit the worlds for a bit, but to play a huge RPG with the current headsets we have, which are like kind of heavy and stuffy and stuff like that for such a long time, I don't know.
Yeah, I think VR is just like VR still. A lot of people say yeah, it's ready, but it sort of isn't because as you just said, yeah, the headsets are massive still. The cables are still a huge issue, and I mean there's wireless shit now, but
I wouldn't
still...
say it's not ready. I think it just depends on what experience you're
And-
talking about.
Yeah, no. Like if you ever played like VR for a little bit extended amount of time, you'll notice like you get a bit. At least it's with. I heard that from other people, and it's on myself as well. You really start to get a little bit nauseous, a little bit dizzy. It's not like the resolution isn't the greatest. It's only 90 FPS, so it's like you can tell it's not reality, and it's just after a while it's not that great anymore. So for longer games, we'll probably have to wait until we get maybe generation 2 or 3. See how that ends up, but yeah.
By the way, is anyone else hearing Thomi kind of lag, or is it on my end?
Yeah, I hear it.
Okay, so it's on Thomi.
Sorry.
No, no worries. It's not that bad. I just wanted to know. But yeah, to address the VR thing, I mean, I think you're coming at it as someone who's like really gotten used to it now, so the magic has worn off. But when you consider when you first started VR, and I played a bit of VR today, and yeah, I mean, you do get that like you're exhausted after a while, depending on the game, obviously. But I still think I wouldn't say it's not ready at all. Like, it's still incredibly immersive, even with the reduced resolution and the wire and all that stuff. I mean, like, I got tangled in the wire a few times, but never for more than a second. Like, I always kind of know where the wire is, and I just like step over it. And
yeah, that's like the thing that gets me out of it, though.
It's fine,
like,
fine. Yeah, it depends on
really...
the person for sure. I've heard a lot of people on my side as well saying the wire is not really a problem.
Yeah, it's not a problem, but you just always have them back of the head, and then it's like, oh,
sure,
shit,
yeah. It can like break the immersion. Yeah, like sometimes because I don't have the hugest space in the world. I have the bare minimum for like comfortable VR room scale. Yeah, so. But yeah, there's always a bit of that thing in the back of my head where I'm like, okay, I can't move fully because I might hit the wall, although the chaperone bounce kind of shows you. But I don't know, man. Still, like, there's been so many times where I like try to lean on something or like in the game, but it's not there in real life.
Yeah,
like VR really is amazing. And today I got a completely brand new experience in VR, which I've never had before. So I was playing Arizona Sunshine, a zombie shooter. And at some point you enter a mining cave thing, whatever, and it's pitch dark. But you've got a flashlight with you, but every time you shoot the gun, the muzzle flash is like so bright, but it's not done any differently from the dev side. Like, it's as bright as it would be when you're outside in the daylight, but because your eyes adjust to the like pitch black darkness inside the mine, it really feels like you're being hit by a flashbang every time you shoot. But it's actually a really cool, it's a really, really cool feeling. I was like, my eyes were kind of squinting every time I shot it, but it was really intense, and I'm really enjoying that game. It's quite old considering, like, because it was a game that came out back when VR first basically was big and released. So it's kind of outdated now. Like, you can't physically climb ladders yourself. You just teleport up the ladder, stuff like that. But it's still really fun in its own right. Yeah, I'm still really impressed with VR. I'm really excited to see it going forward. Like, cause this developing the technology all the time. Like, the Knuckles are gonna be coming soonish, hopefully, by Valve. I think that's gonna really change the game a lot.
Yeah, probably.
What would be different with the Knuckles?
Have you seen the Knuckles?
No, I haven't.
Okay, so there you go. Let me find a picture for it. So it's basically a controller that Valve is developing. It straps along. It's like basically, I don't know how to describe it. Kind of like, I guess you could think of like a stapler in a way, like that kind of width, and it straps along your arm in a way so that you can actually not have to hold it at all. You never have to be holding it, and it actually detects all of your fingers individually. So you can like do all sorts of gesticulations and motions with your finger, and it'll track them perfectly. And they've shown a lot of tech demos for it, and they've even released one on Steam now for free. And they've sent a lot of free kits to developers and stuff to try and make this technology popular. But yeah, it seems really cool. Like, you actually, because it's basically like having a glove. Everyone said, oh, you should make a glove and stuff, but there's problems with that. Like, oh, it's a cloth, maybe it's gonna get sweaty, or you don't want to be wearing something on your hand all the time. But this is kind of like a good middle ground, in my opinion. It's just there. You have a controller if you ever want it. Like, if you're ever holding a sword, you want to feel that handle, that physical handle.
Yeah,
so
maybe.
I think this is a really good middle ground, and people have been saying it's amazing. I'm really curious to try it out.
How much are those? Cool. They're probably like
they're not out right now yet. They're not out yet.
They're gonna be like $300.
Probably, yeah. But they've just been sending some free kits to developers. That's what I like about Valve. They're kind of always like trying to push technology and helping developers out. But yeah,
well,
it
yeah,
really cool.
because they make a fuckload of money from that shit. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, but they don't need to. Developers will buy them. I'm sure there's many devs who are like, oh, I need that shit.
Yeah. I mean, in the end, yeah, of course they do. Because, like, in the end, if more developers can make stuff that sells on Steam, like, those development kits are gonna pay for themselves. If you just get one developer to make a game that wouldn't have made the game if it wasn't for the Knuckles.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. It's benefiting them. It's smart. Yeah. I'm just saying, but yeah, not all publishers would do that. I still think there's a bit of like,
well, those cool. Publishers would be stupid, but yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of Steam, and I don't know, you guys probably remember recently Epic was basically launching their store, and they're a huge competitor saying, oh, we're gonna, you know, pay our devs all that what's it called, revenue split. It's gonna be a much better split. We talked about it last week.
Yeah, and they also were really smart getting that much exposure at the Game Awards.
Yeah, for sure. But now Discord came out. They've already released their store a few months ago, but they basically said now they're going to have an even better revenue split. It's going to be an open store from everyone from AAA to single person teams, allowing self-publishing with a 90% of revenue going to the developer. The remaining 10% covers operating costs, Discord added, and will explore lowering it by optimizing our tech and making things even more efficient. So that was a quote from Eurogamer's article.
Cool.
Yeah, I mean, damn, dude.
Really
90%.
cool.
That's cool. Yeah, I really like that there's this kind of battle going on now to just get devs more and more money, which they totally deserve.
Only took them 1.5 decades.
Yeah.
So if you were a dev,
yeah,
and you would have to choose between Epic Store and Discord Store, where would you put your game?
Epic and Discord only?
Yeah, or Steam.
I would go Discord if I had to choose
I
those
go with Discord too, yeah.
It's
Probably.
the,
I don't know. There's a
Me
lot
too.
of shit behind that, but
Discord people are already on it, and
Yes.
and it's a better split and whatever. Now, if you're gonna ask me between Steam, first of all, my first choice would be all of them. I think is the best solution personally. Before I even enter the dev industry, I'm not sure.
until Epic offers you 2 million.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know how it is from the other side. I mean, there must be a reason that Coffee Stain turned their back on Steam. They probably got paid.
Oh yeah,
a shit
they
ton.
said so. They said so. They announced why, and yeah, it was for money.
Yeah,
they
of course.
got offered money.
And I don't
A fuckload.
I don't blame them, but I don't know if it'll help in the long run, because I know a lot of people are reluctant to install the Epic launcher and buy games and stuff there. Like, people are already established on Steam. So
Yeah, but if you say that, then it's never gonna work. Like, the reason why, well, one of the reasons I would say why Steam was the monopoly for so long, because just nobody else A had the money, and B had well, quote unquote, the balls to do it. Because Steam was exactly for the reason that you just said. Why would you get on the second one if Steam is already so extremely established? But it's really important that you actually put your games, like, for the quote-unquote greater good, onto another store, just so that other store grows too, and we get some competition going.
I know, I'm just saying practically, as the consumer, me personally, I don't want to have all these clients, you know? I like the competition, but I don't want to have all these clients. If a game is on Steam, I'm going to buy it on Steam. I realize that, like, that helps with the monopoly, but we're just thinking of convenience and everything for the common consumer, you know? Like,
yeah, it kind of sucks, yeah.
It
but
sucks.
Then again,
I get it. It does suck.
like, I'm guessing somebody's probably, like, right now getting onto that. Like, I'm waiting for a single launcher to come out that just has, like, all the games on, that just combines all of the launches. Somehow,
Dude,
somebody
that
could
is a
probably
thing.
somehow make
I mean,
that.
even Discord does that. If you go on Discord, you've got your list of games. You just click launch. It's gonna launch the client for you.
Yeah, somebody, like, yeah, but then you need to, like, get the base from all games. You need to get, like, all the info from all games. I guess it probably works on most games on Discord, not on all of them. But yeah, if somebody knows something that is like that, or if somebody can make that, go on. That's there's your choice, your thing.
Yeah, it's tough because I'm happy. I hope Steam does get pressured by this. I don't know how pressured they'll be, and I don't know if these devs that are going exclusive will suffer from it or not. I don't know, because
developers shouldn't, like, have to go exclusive though.
Yeah, they shouldn't have. I mean, whatever. It's their choice. They're being given a lot of money, and they're like, cool, fine, I'll go exclusive. Like, that happened with Oculus Rift games on the Oculus store. It depends. I mean, we talked about it last week. I don't want to talk about it too much, but yeah, there's a bit of, like, a bitter taste in separating the PC
but
industry.
it's also like really good, because now all of the new platforms and Steam as well have to offer not just better conditions to developers, which is good for the developers, or I suppose it's good for the publishers, but fuck publishers. But also, like, they have to compete. They have to give you better prices. They have to give you better sales. They have to give you free stuff, like Epic is doing right now.
Yeah,
So...
I agree. The competition is good, but just ultimately, it's all a bit weird. And like I said last week, I'm not sure how I feel about the exclusivity, buying things. Like PC was always an open platform, and now you're kind of separating it. In the end, though, you can still buy it on your PC. It's not really the same as like a console exclusive, but
yeah, it's not the same shit like
Yeah, yeah.
that Microsoft pulled, for example, where they
Yeah.
had their exclusive store with exclusive games like Gears of War and everything for PC.
oh
But
no,
you
that is the same.
couldn't play. You couldn't play the games unless you owned Windows 10.
Okay, that's a bit of a different topic, I think.
What?
I think that's a bit of a different topic. Like, wasn't there argument that you can only run it on Windows 10?
No, it was to push Windows 10 sales.
Maybe. Well, it didn't work
Technically,
because nobody uses the Windows
No, it
Store
did.
for
And
games.
most of the games did shit on PC because
Yeah.
at that time no one wanted to have Windows 10 because it was garbage. Now it's good, but it was
Wasn't-
garbage at that time.
Yeah, I was about to say, wasn't it like really fucking bad the way
Yeah.
the store was designed? It like tried
Yeah,
to keep
the
you
store,
from playing
the
games.
store itself was horrible.
Yeah, but
and
now
also,
the new stores are all good. Like it's all
Yeah,
really
now-
easy.
and now Windows 10 is good as well. But
Yeah.
they pulled something like that off, and that like you couldn't play the games.
I think
The
Microsoft.
situation now is better.
There have been a few hints recently at Microsoft maybe breaking down the wall between cross-platform on Microsoft and Steam Play, and maybe selling more games on Steam. Because I think Halo Wars was meant to be a Microsoft Store exclusive. It came to Steam. Hopefully Gears of War does as well. There were a few others. I'm not sure. What's that fighting game? Is it Killer Instinct? Where like Battletoads are coming in soon as well, or they're already in?
No.
Okay, whatever. I think we're gonna see more Microsoft Store exclusives on Steam probably soon-ish. Yeah, we'll see.
I mean, maybe they actually put all their games on that were Xbox exclusives on PC now. They started doing that a while ago.
Yeah,
I hope it continues.
same. All right. Another thing I've got here. So there's been some news that the Heroes of the Storm team over at Blizzard has been reduced by quite a big number. Do we have a percentage? I'm not sure. But a lot of the people have been moved to another project, basically. Future projects that Blizzard are making. And they said they basically had this process with all their games before. Like, Overwatch wouldn't have existed. StarCraft 2, I think. Hearthstone. They all wouldn't have existed if they didn't cut their support from their older games, obviously. But HOTS isn't that old. Which is...
It kind of is now. Yeah.
I mean, I think when they did that with StarCraft and stuff, it wasn't that old, was it? I'm not sure.
No, the thing is, StarCraft was like solid for a couple of years, but people fell off really quickly because it's RTS and it's more of a like Eastern game. Like in the Western countries, people don't seem to enjoy RTS as much as they used to be. And yeah, I think that I'm generally not against that. Like if the game's not doing well, why put any
I agree.
any more effort into it?
I mean,
to like keep it going if it's not working out.
Yeah, it sucks because I love HOTS, so
It
we're
sucks
gonna get
teams, but
I mean, whatever. They're still They didn't lose their job. They're just gonna be moved to another project. So
like a couple people did lose their job. There was a clip I saw a couple days ago where I think it was a Korean caster, I believe. He like broke down into tears because he was talking about this kind of stuff. Like he legitimately just lost his job.
that's different. He's a caster, and that he probably lost his job because, as I was gonna say, the esports scene for HOTS has also been cancelled. That's different. Like,
well,
he lost his
Yeah,
job.
but still people
Kind of the
losing their
same.
jobs though. Yeah.
Yeah, of course. That's
Kind of the
I was
same.
just saying the developers of HOTS have been moved to other
Well,
projects.
just the devs. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a different thing.
So content will be coming in a bit slower. I mean, as long as I can still play the game, I don't really mind that much, I guess. But it's weird. I've been playing the game for a few years now. I love it, but I haven't spent a single cent because I don't know. On one hand, I feel like it's almost giving me everything I want for free, but on the other hand, I would have maybe spent a bit of money to be like, hey, thanks for the cool game, but everything's too expensive. So if they just got a middle ground and made stuff a little bit cheaper, then maybe I'd be like, okay, here, I'll pay you for this cool skin. Because I don't think I've spent any money on a free-to-play game ever.
Blizzard got like really cash grabby with Heroes. I feel like it was literally just, hey, League of Legends is doing really well, Dota is doing really well. What if we do our own? But they came to the party like 3 years too late or something. Yeah. It was like I was already playing League for like 4 years, and then another MOBA comes out and like just nobody cares anymore. Everybody's on Dota, everybody's on League. Then a couple people were playing Smite, and there was like 1 or 2 others that were semi-popular. And then Heroes came out, and well, guess what? It was semi-popular. There was not too many people playing it, and I played a good few hours. I don't know, like I probably played like 20-30 hours, and it really, like, I really didn't think it was such a good MOBA, honestly. I can see it for like some people it's probably appealing, but for me personally, it just like did everything that makes the MOBA good for me. It took like most of that out and replaced with other stuff, and I just didn't like it that much.
That's fair enough.
I like the characters though. The characters and the design was really, really cool, but it never like kept me in the game.
Right. I mean, it's my first real MOBA, and then I tried a bit of League of Legends with you, Thomi, and it was okay. Maybe I need to try a bit more, but I liked HOTS a lot more. I've yet to try Dota.
Yeah, the learning curve is like insane. On HOTS, you can just like 2-3 rounds, and you kind of got the idea of what's happening.
I wouldn't say. I don't think it would be that different. There's more complexity to League, obviously, because you need to like one hit
the minions, and you need to buy items.
Yeah, items and stuff.
You need to manage the economy. There's like so many things.
Yeah.
And you level up, I guess, individually instead of your team. Yep. Yeah, I mean, it's like more like an introduction to MOBAs, I guess. But for me, that's kind of something that I like. I didn't enjoy my time with trying to worry about all the last hitting and items and stuff. I didn't care about that. I just wanted to enjoy. And that's why I liked Battle Ride as well. It's MOBAs, but just the combat aspect of it without the objectives and lane pushing and stuff. I think sometimes boiling something down to its like core formula is pretty good. But yeah, it's just for different people. That's why they all exist. But yeah, I love HOTS.
Yeah, if Heroes was more like Battle Ride, then I would have probably played it a fuckload more. I love the concept so much. You have like all those cool characters. You can play as fucking Arthas. You can play as Ragnaros. You can play as all the StarCraft characters. You've got Diablo in there. Like it's just fan service in a big package with well, the game. It's solid, but again, the design is great. Blizzard has like some really, really good design teams.
Yeah.
Just the games themselves in the past years have really not dragged me in at all.
Fair enough. I kind of I love when games are collabs of stuff like HOTS. You know, you see all these people from different universes, or like Smash Bros, Sonic Transformed, stuff like that. I love just seeing characters that don't belong together be together. Yeah, I really wish we saw that more often. Like Mario and Rabbids blew my mind when that got announced.
Like we talked a little bit before the podcast, like the Monster Hunter Rathalos being in Smash Brothers 2.
Yeah, it's weird, man. It's weird.
It's weird, but it's really cool.
Yeah, I love that stuff. Oh yeah, speaking of Mario, Charles Martinet, the voice actor of Super Mario, has voiced Mario in the 100th game officially with Smash Bros.
Oh boy!
He's actually in the the Guinness World Records for voicing one character the most times in a video game or something like that. So I thought that was kind of cool.
What was the first Mario game he voiced in?
I don't know. That's a good question, actually.
Oh, I think it was. I think he voiced like Mario Tennis or something like that. Some relatively obscure one, and he's voicing like all of the characters too. I've seen him live, and I've like talked to him for a minute. When he had like a meet and greet. That's pretty cool. But he voices a lot of. He voices like all of the Mario characters. Pretty much all of them.
Yeah, he does, right?
Yeah.
He also voiced Parthenox in Skyrim, which is kind of funny.
Okay.
Another, I don't know, this might blow your mind. Sonic the Hedgehog, the voice actor, also voices Ezio Auditore from Assassin's Creed. So
some stuff is like really weird.
It's so funny. Like I'm watching Ezio and I'm like, this is fucking Sonic the Hedgehog. Like it doesn't sound anything like him, but it's like that's the same voice. That's
Sonic
pretty
has
funny.
a voice?
Yeah. Is that a joke?
Oh.
What was the last? What was the last Sonic game you've played?
Sonic games, but yeah.
The Sonic Adventure, maybe?
Sonic. He must have had a voice.
Maybe
in
he
Sonic.
had a voice there. I don't
He
know.
must have had a voice. Like when it went 3D and since the cartoons and stuff. Yeah. I thought the last one you played was like the first one.
No.
All right.
That was the first one I played.
Sonic Adventure was the first one you played?
No. The first one was the first one I played.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Me too. I remember. Oh man, I have a really strong memory of that. Being in my friend's room when we were kids and playing the first level, and I don't know if it's a glitch or some sort of secret or something, but we ended the level. We ran in the sky and passed the finish zone or whatever. And his older sister came in. We told her, and she didn't believe us, and I was so pissed off. I was like, I'm fucking telling you, man, that hedgehog flies. And she was like, no, you guys are lying. You're kids. You're lying.
Oh my god.
Oh.
That's like there is like people like that did that all the time. I had like a kid in school. Oh my god, I fucking hated that dude. He talked bullshit, like absolute bullshit that was easily disproven even without the fucking internet. He would tell those lies like all the time and try to deceive people. Like he tried to tell me that you can like ride the roller coaster on Super Mario the Mario Kart Double Dash. You can ride the roller coaster and then fly through the level and stuff like that. Or he'd like, I think everybody had like this kind of friend where like they would just spout bullshit all the time.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
he also said that he like, oh, I have soloed all the content in World of Warcraft all by myself. And that was like back in vanilla days when you needed like 40 people. It's literally impossible. Oh my god, I hate those people.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, I was that friend in primary school.
Yeah,
oh my
Sonic
god,
could fly.
I'm gonna okay.
No,
thanks
Sonic
for
did
being-
fly,
I'm gonna
Guf.
leave.
Sonic did fly.
Bye-bye.
Sonic flew, I'm telling you. But I remember, I actually also have strong memories of time my friend, like, we were looking at his cat outside, and I was like, dude, I can see inside that cat. I have X-ray vision. And I said other stuff like, I can jump from that building and survive. And like kids believed me. I don't know why I was doing it.
Fucking do it.
I was like an attention seeker or something. I don't know. But Sonic flew. Guf, I'm telling you.
Yeah,
Sonic
that's why
flew.
nobody
Of course
believed.
it did, Sheep. Of course.
Oh,
That's
God.
why nobody believed you.
Go because of the Sonic incident. They're like, Sheep, he's the Sonic.
No, because of all the shit you did before. Then
Nah,
you
she didn't
come
know
with an
about
actual
that.
True story.
I don't know.
And then, you know,
All right. So this is not a lie, guys. This next topic. I think Thomi, you told me about this a while ago, but now it's officially going into business. Basically, Google is testing a new game streaming service, and they're starting off with Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Unfortunately, only in America, so fuck us. But basically, they give you the game for free on Uplay if you just play 1 hour of the game on their gaming streaming service. So I think that's gonna be. I mean, we're talking about competitors. There you go. There's another competitor. So yeah, Google and streaming games. I mean, have any of you tried playing any games streamed, like on PS Now or
No.
There was another one.
I haven't.
There was another one that
Like
failed.
my internet is just
GeForce
too
Now?
crack here.
GeForce Now is one. Yeah, there was
Oh
also
yeah, but
another one.
GeForce Now. That's like, dude, that's like the future. Well, it should not be the future, but it might be. Where
I think why not?
you can like you don't need to if this like becomes more popular, let's say in like 10 years or something, when everybody has good internet except for Germany, they're gonna just not program any multiplayer games like couch co-op games anymore. They just make them all single player, and then you can transfer your screen essentially over to the other player, who then gets an own input. I think that's like a thing of the future. Yeah, that's the GeForce thing. That's what it's being made for.
Wait, you're
essentially
talking
just
about the local? Yeah. I've tried that.
Yeah,
I've done that before, and it was actually
How did
pretty
that
cool.
work?
It was cool. I've had some technical issues, but it's NVIDIA, so it's on their GeForce Experience client.
Yeah.
Like we couldn't get the controller working and stuff. I wasted so many hours on it. But it is pretty cool technology. But I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about streaming a game from their own like headquarters. They've got a PlayStation. Like PS Now is like that. They're running a PlayStation at their headquarters, and you stream God of War from there, and you're playing. But none of us have tried it, so we can't really comment.
There are also rumors floating about that Microsoft will make an Xbox that will only work on this principle that you stream a
Streaming.
game that is run on a server somewhere.
Why would you need to buy a console for that?
I mean, because it's cheap.
If it'll be
For one.
cheaper than the typical Xbox now, sure.
Yeah.
I guess it's a device to stream. Yeah, yeah. I think it's the future if it works well, theoretically. Because yeah, you don't need to preload games. You don't need to install 60 gigs of games. No physical disc. It's just like there you go. The only problem with that is if their service goes kaput, then you lose the game. So.
Yeah, but I think basically, maybe the same thing. Like I said, this is probably also the future where you just like if you're like a hardcore gamer, you probably still have your main home PC that's like really well equipped with everything. But I can totally see that like maybe in like 10-20 years we'll have something like Netflix for video games, and then all you need is like your crappy netbook. Are those even produced anymore? Whatever. It's like you just take like your little laptop with a screen and like nothing on it. You transfer all that stuff, you plug your controller and you play Assassin's Creed 15 on your crappy little laptop.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, as long as you have the option, I guess, like Spotify is a music streaming service, but if you pay them, you can also download your songs. So I guess if there's options, I think that would be pretty cool. You can download it, but you can also stream it if you want. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's an interesting prospect to look forward to. So I've got another interesting topic. I think you guys probably know it's coming, but the an actor from the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, known as Alfonso Ribeiro, who plays Carlton, is suing Epic over their Fortnite emotes, which
rightfully so.
And also a backpack kid known as Russell Horning. So yeah, they basically coined these really iconic dances, and Epic is taking them. I don't play Fortnite, so if any of you can correct me, but I believe they do actually sell these dances without any credit to the original creators, right?
Yep. The one from Carlton, I think. What's Carlton or Carlton?
Carlton.
Carlton. Yeah, Carlton. That one is like $8 or something.
$8?
Yep.
And damn, yeah. I mean, I don't see why not. Like, they created the dance. People refer to it as the Carlton. It's the characters that he made it, or maybe the show made it. I don't know. But to not even credit them and then sell it individually, because I believe games
they didn't even ask.
Yeah, there have been games which do dances. I think Simi said Saints Row has Carlton, the Carlton dance, maybe. But it's like it's an homage. They don't sell it separately, so I don't see why not. Like,
yeah,
I don't blame these guys. Some people are calling them money grubbing, but
that's like my problem. You could at least ask. I saw like an interview with or it was like a stand-up thing, I think. The guy that plays Turk on Scrubs, used to play Turk.
They took his dance
like,
as well.
His stance is like, I think the standard one that you get when you have nothing else, I'm pretty sure. And he talked about this on like a stage at some point, and he just said, yeah, they're selling this thing. They haven't asked me. I don't think he's taken any steps. Maybe he is now, because that other thing with Carlton came out.
Maybe.
But he wasn't taking any steps against it, but he said he's not getting a single penny. He is not being contacted in any way. And yeah, it's kind of scummy.
Yeah, Simi also told me the Madagascar 2 game has the Carlton dance, which is also funny. So yeah, I think the problem is
sell it separately for $8.
I mean, I don't know. What's your stance, Guf? It sounded like you had something to say.
I think it's ridiculous. Just let them do the dance.
Okay, so you're on Epic's side.
I'm on letting people do dances.
Sure. I mean, do you not agree that I also had that initial impression? I was kind of like, why not just let them dance? Like, who cares? Whatever, you made it, I get it, but it is a bit weird that they're selling it separately, right? And no credit at all, because you can't do this with music or videos or whatever. Like, you always need to credit the person somehow or not sell it individually. But now suddenly dances are, I don't know, are not protected.
I guess it's up to like the court to decide if this is enough for it to be like covered under like copyright law or something like that?
Yeah, I'm asking you morally, like forgetting the law, the court or whatever. I mean, does it not seem a bit unfair that dances can't be protected, but everything else can be? If it's such a specific dance, you know what I mean? Like the Carlton people see it. And... So. All right.
I really do think so, personally. Like, if I don't, like, I'm not a dance performer or anything, but
you don't. You don't dance?
There's a little bit. There's probably a little bit of thought that goes into it, and like, if I make, let's say, I make a video and I like do all this, like, I have an idea and I want to make a video about, I don't know, tangerines. So go out of my way and I buy, or like I get my camcorder out or my phone and I make a little video and I get a tangerine. I get all of this stuff ready and upload it to YouTube. And then somebody else takes that exact video and not even copies it, but just takes the exact same video and uploads it somewhere else. That's like, you can DMCA that
That's
shit.
not the same thing, though.
It's pretty much the same thing because you copy the exact same thing. It's
they took your video and put it somewhere else.
Yeah.
If
they took
would
the dance
do
and
the
put it
same
somewhere
thing
else.
as you in another video, that would not.
Yeah, but they don't. They like if you do it the same thing, they're not getting the exact same table and the exact same tangerine. You get the idea. But like they 1-to-1, even like down to the way the fingers are on his hand. They 1-to-1 just copied the dance. Like it's so incredibly blatant. They just like it's like motion capture. It's like they took the guy, put him into motion capture. It's like 1-to-1. It's undisputable that they just absolutely took it.
Yeah, I guess Guf, you're saying that's not a problem to you because it's not the original thing. It was just copy pasted. I guess.
Well, they didn't really get Carlton in there. What if they had an in-game Carlton model that looks very, very similar, or the exact same, and he does the dance?
I mean,
like
you could kind of argue. I mean, I was gonna say it's kind of like how they took PUBG and then made it their own thing. I guess like it is.
Yeah, but
the plane
they
you choose.
stuff.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I suppose here they just changed the character model. I don't know, but I feel like the people that are okay with PUBG being taken for Fortnite, like the mechanics and all that stuff, would also be okay with the dance. Or maybe not everyone, because it is being sold separately. I don't know. It's a tricky one. I think I am on the side of the dancers, though. Me personally, I guess, like, if I put myself in their shoes, I would have been okay with maybe them charging and stuff for it, but as long as they asked me beforehand and credited me. Like, if
yeah,
they
that's the
it...
big problem. Like, they didn't even ask. They didn't even...
Yeah.
They didn't even, like, send them a mail and be like, yo, can we, like, use your dance? Maybe
to sell.
Like,
because,
1%.
Because,
yeah.
to sell. Because if it wasn't for selling, then I'd say, whatever, go for it. You don't need to ask. Cool, it's a little Easter egg. It's fun. But if you're going to sell it, I think credit. That's my opinion, though. It seems pretty divisive. Like, some people are saying it's a bit greedy of the dancers, and then some people are saying greedy on Epic's side. I don't know.
Maybe it's greedy on the dancers, but they created it.
Yeah, I don't know.
They could have just like changed one hand movement, just one thing, but no, they had to copy it 1-to-1. I would have been more on the side of them if they like changed it a tiny bit, like at least a weeny tiny bit, but they didn't even try.
Yeah.
So yeah, fuck them.
That's an expensive dance emote though. $8 to dance.
I think it's $8. Wait, let me look it up.
How often do you get to dance in Fortnite? Like,
don't people just... to BM. You kill somebody, he's down on the ground. You just start dabbing on them.
But don't you just get shot immediately? I mean, I guess later on in the
not
game.
If you just kill the guy. Yeah.
Yeah. But what happened to good old teabagging, man? Like in the Halo days. Like now it's kind of toxic. Like you see someone teabagging, you're like, what the hell? What's this guy doing?
I mean,
but in Halo, it was fun, man. I don't know. Yeah, it just depends on, I guess, the context that comes with it.
To be fair, back then gaming was something different. Halo 3, the Halo 3 days are over. You can't like, oh my god, gaming was so toxic back then, and nobody gave a fuck. Everybody was edgy.
Oh right, that's what you mean. Yeah, it was like the norm. Like if you weren't being toxic, you're not a gamer. It was the norm to call
people F-words and like be harassing everybody else. That was like the totally normal thing.
Oh right, you mean that F-word? I thought you were saying
that
fuck.
F-word.
I was like, you can say fuck.
Actually, I can probably say it on YouTube, but I won't.
Yeah, don't. It's fine. We're talking about feathers. Yeah. Frick. No, why'd you say it, Rich? Why'd you say frick?
Oh, sorry.
Fuck, dude. Come on, man. All right. So next thing, this will trigger Thomi. So we've got the Steam Awards coming up very soon. We recently just passed the Game Awards. Triggered. So for those of you who don't know, but you probably do, Steam holds annually some Steam Awards where basically you can vote for any game you want depending on the category. The categories are pretty weird, by the way. But regardless of that, one thing that bothers me is that even though it's an annual award thing, you can vote for any game you want, no matter how old it is.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Game of the Year. Let's see. PUBG is nominated. Monster Hunter World came out this year. Kingdom Come Deliverance, Hitman 2, Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Okay, those are actually all okay. Where was the one that angered you, Thomi? What
fucking Witcher 3.
Yeah, what category is it? Best developer?
I think it was like best atmosphere.
Oh, environment. Best environment, Witcher 3. Like, that game came out a long time ago. And by the way, I want to preface, okay, so Thomi is really angry at Witcher, and I agree with him, right? It is incredibly overhyped, this game, like, holy shit.
Yes.
But I will also say I loved the game. Like, I went in with the overhyping and stuff, and I still really loved it. You didn't like it as much as I did. It's a good game. You can admit that it's a good game for some people. Maybe not you.
It's a pretty good game.
It's a good game, right? It's decent, yeah. But
okay, just for a second.
Sure.
I'm somebody that, like, I'm a huge sucker for RPG. If you give me a good RPG, I will be gone for like 3 weeks and I'll do nothing else but just play this RPG. And I played like old stuff, new stuff. I played all sorts of stuff. If it's good, I'll finish it. But I did not finish The Witcher, and I think like it really is. I'm gonna like a lot. I know a lot of people are gonna hate me for this, but I think Witcher 3 really isn't that great of an RPG. It's not that good of a game, and people are like way over. It's the same with Skyrim. Skyrim is like.
I'm just gonna mute this guy. No,
fuck you.
Go ahead.
Skyrim in general is a pretty bad game, in my honest opinion. I think it's a pretty bad RPG in general. But the only thing keeping it up is mods.
I disagree. I didn't install a single mod. The first time I played it when it released, I was like, this was fun. It was okay. And recently, my brand new GTX 1060 decided to burn out while I was playing Halo 2, like over 10-year-old game. So the only thing I could play with my onboard graphics was Skyrim on low graphics, amazingly. It saved my life. I wasn't bored to death. And I fucking loved the game. Like, my second playthrough, I don't know, I loved it because I actually did the fun stuff. I was evil and, like, whatever. Anyway, tangent, whatever. I think Skyrim is, although it's really buggy and stuff, there's something beautiful about the Elder Scrolls games. The interaction with the world and stuff. I guess Witcher lacks that. But I don't know, man. I really liked Witcher 3. I really, really liked it. But whatever, each to their own. Regardless, I think
point being, it came out in 2015 or 2016.
That's one point.
It's on the 2018 Steam charts, which is the most dumb thing ever.
Okay, but yeah. I mean, yeah, we're all agreeing here. But in the end, it doesn't say anywhere that it needs to be a 2018 game. Fine. But the thing that bugs me the most is that it's in best environment. Like, Witcher 3 looks great, but it's one of the last games I would have thought of with best environment. Like, it's just a medieval. It's like this beautiful scenery. Sure, it really does look like a nice game. Although Witcher 2 or Witcher 3 originally looked a bit better before it came out. But anyway, yeah, it looks good, but it's still just grass and stuff. Like, at least Subnautica has like interesting. I haven't played it yet, but it looks like there's some really cool underwater environments or creatures and stuff.
It really is cool. Very atmospheric.
And Dark Souls.
Just not standard.
Sort of, but Dark Souls is also overhyped as fuck.
Yeah, but I love those games. And Dark Souls has a more interesting environment than fucking hills with grass and castles. You know what I mean?
I mean, it's almost exactly that, but yeah.
Stuff.
Just
to
me,
I think.
Yeah, that's a ladder. There's like a dark pit somewhere where it's an insta kill when you fall in.
Yeah, it looks really
great
cool.
environment.
I don't know. Just to me, this is not a good nomination list for environment. I can't think of any now, but there's a lot of stuff with just where I walked in the game and I was like, this looks so cool and original, and these aren't really. I don't know. Like Far Cry 5 is just in America with like some rednecks or something. I don't know.
Yeah, and that's the problem. That's what I was talking about. I think last week or 2 weeks ago when the Steam Award thing started. That's exactly what happens when you let people, like random ass people, vote on shit. Like they're just gonna, oh my god, I could nominate my favorite game even though it's 3 years old. It's like, oh.
But also some of the categories, like better with friends, isn't a good category because arguably most games are better with friends.
Except single
That just means it's bad without.
Except what, Guf?
Yeah, except single player games.
Yeah. That's what I'm, like Payday 2. I mean, yeah. What?
To be fair, some stuff really fits. Like Overcooked is made to like.
Exactly.
It's not just it's a game that's single player, but you can play it multiplayer. No, Overcooked is made for multiplayer.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. It's not good. I don't think it's a good category. I don't think at all.
Yeah.
When I nominated for this category, I thought like what Thomi said, sucks without friends. So I nominated CS:GO.
Even though you don't even like the game. Best alternate history, yeah, there weren't really many options. Civilization 6? Is that alternate history? I mean, you alter
Wait, I need
the
to
history.
see the
You make
list
your
real
own
quick.
history.
You make your own history. Does that count?
Of course.
I think Wolfenstein is a good nomination. Odyssey, kind of, except it's kind of trying to, I don't know. Most fun with a machine.
Is pretty cool.
That was a weird category as well.
Yeah, Euro Truck Simulator 2.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
I was struggling to find one there.
If Factorio doesn't win this, actually against Rocket League, there's too many nerds there. I don't know.
Best
Still
developer.
a single 2018 game.
Yeah. No.
That's the worst one. Best developer is such a dumb category. Oh my god, this actually fucking triggers
I knew
me.
it. I fucking knew it.
They let random ass people vote on which is the best developer. Well, CD Projekt Red made Witcher 3 years ago, and they just announced a new game that I haven't played.
Like they haven't made a game in
clearly
so
they're the
long.
best company on the planet.
Actually, no, they did make a card game this year. Really recently.
Oh, yeah,
I forgot what it was called.
They did the Witcher card game, yeah, but nobody cares about that.
I think.
No, the new one that the story-driven is also surprisingly really good.
Yeah, I think people are excited about it. It does look cool, but it's a weird.
Yeah,
developer.
I'm just making jokes, but like, the main problem is that I'd say we as a group, we are like way more invested in video games than most people, and we know all the stuff that's like in the background, like CG Projekt Red, like has some really shitty fucking business practices with their employees, and Rockstar Games is like a really money-grabbing company and stuff like that. We know that stuff, but like the normalo,
the average
person
voter,
that, like,
I would say.
Yeah, the people that just like the average voter, the majority of voters have no fucking clue what's going on in the background.
I mean, in the
and
end,
should really not have anything to say.
Yeah, but I mean, we shouldn't like come off pretentious. Like in the end, it is a vote for that for most consumers. What do you think is the best developer? Oh, CD Projekt Red released a lot of cool games. They patch it. It's never broken. Stuff like that. Like you don't need to know all the behind the scenes, I guess, necessarily. But it's also just like they're all big names. There's so many talented smaller devs. Like the only small one I see here is Clay. I don't see a Digital
And even
Extremes.
they aren't that small.
A Digital Extremes, I don't recognize it.
This applies to all categories. Like the most favorites, stuff will win.
Yeah, I mean, we said that we're basically recycling what we said about the Game Awards. Nothing will really change. But yeah, I just wanted to point it out.
The Game Awards, it was a bit different because like many people expected like that will follow the hype completely, and in some of the categories, Red Dead Redemption shouldn't have won, but they did. But like they didn't take Game of the Year, for example.
Yeah.
So I feel like the 2018 awards were pretty interesting actually.
Yeah.
Like the awards, you can tell, like, compared to last year and before that as well, the show was actually pretty good. I know it's popular to shit on the Game Awards.
Yeah, I thought it was good too.
It is a good and fun show. It wasn't like, there was some cringe, of course, but it's like, it was a fun, interesting show, and the awards, like, still arbitrary, for sure, but they were fine. And
yeah, I'm with you. It was as good as it could be.
Yeah.
It was good except Monster Hunter. I'm really happy they won an award, but RPG? Question mark? Like
it's not really an RPG.
Yeah, and also it weirded me out that like 3 games won awards before the timer for the awards started. It was weird. Like it's like, oh, you're a bit less important. I don't know what the point of that was, but whatever. One last thing.
I have like
a
small anecdote to like the developer thing. It's something that like really surprised me. So Path of Exile launched a new patch like a couple weeks ago, like 2 weeks ago or so, And there has been like an outcry. Everybody like started playing it. They all leveled up, and then they noticed, oh
Wait,
shit!
What game are you talking about? Sorry.
Path of Exile.
Right.
So they I wasn't like I'm subbed on the subreddit. I saw like all of the posts. This is broken. This is garbage. This is way overtuned. Those things one-shot you. This one-shots you from 3 screens away. This thing is really bad. This thing is really bad. This thing is really bad. And it took them 2 weeks. And Grinding Gear Game, which is like the company that makes this, that makes Path of Exile, they've been praised by the community apparently before, because they patch stuff exactly how people wanted it. Guess what happens? 2 weeks later, boom! Every single thing that people were complaining about has been fixed. It's crazy. It's like they took like I think a week or two, and they fixed absolutely everything people were complaining about. It's crazy. I've like not seen this in a long time. I'm used to Ubisoft leaving in like completely bugged operators in Rainbow Six Siege for over a year.
It's weird to see such huge developers. I mean, huge developers can be good, but all of the ones listed here have their faults. And
yeah,
I mean, same example would be also
Kleinot.
In the end, they're human, but it's weird that they're all just big names.
Yeah.
Like for example, Warframe, they also like take feedback seriously.
Well, I think Labor of Love. No, they're not nominated. I feel like that would be the perfect game to nominate for Labor of Love.
I think they won it last year.
Maybe. I mean, No Man's Sky is a pretty good one. I think against all odds, like that game got so shat on, but it seems to be shaping up well. Like, and they're still working on it. They didn't give up on it after all that.
Yeah, it seems to be actually good.
But for many people, it's stigmatized.
Yeah.
Like,
that it was released in the shape it was.
That isn't even the issue. Like a lot of games really were released.
Yeah, but they shouldn't.
Garbage.
No,
I'm not saying it's okay, but like, why No Man's Sky stood out is all the lies. I don't remember who what position that guy had. All the lies he spewed, and nothing got to do it. Like literally nothing.
Yeah, didn't they
that's what stood out.
Didn't they have like supports multiplayer on the package, and then they put like stickers over it to hide it and stuff like that? It was like really blatant that they lied until the very end.
I wonder if it was a lie though, or if it was just he was overly ambitious and didn't realize that he might not be able to ship with his shit.
Sort of, but how do you go so far that you like print the packages for the game and then you have multiplayer on it, but you're like, oh my god, we have 2 weeks to finish multiplayer for this game. This is not gonna work.
I don't know. Shit happens sometimes. Like, I know that printing covers and stuff happens relatively like towards the end, but still before programming is done and whatever. Entirely.
But you can't make a multiplayer in 2 months.
Yeah, by that point you have have a core feature. Or
what I was saying was they might have had it. And then it was. Is it in the game now? Is multiplayer in the game now? Because maybe they had it and then it was broken and they decided
co-op multiplayer, like 3 or 4 people.
I mean, I'm not making excuses for the guy. Like just keep your mouth shut, whether you're lying on purpose or not. Like it's kind of Peter Molyneux syndrome. I don't know if you guys know, but Peter Molyneux, the designer of Fable, he literally said that they invented dogs for their Fable game.
Yeah, that's why no one believes.
It was so weird.
No one will believe this guy if he ever goes on stage again.
It was so weird. Like, okay, he didn't say literally, but the way he worded it, it was, we have these things called dogs. And
I remember this.
And it was
just like...
Was he trying to be funny?
No, he's not serious. Yes, dead serious.
It's just like Call of Duty Ghosts invented swimming fish.
Yeah,
the swimming fish AI that was in Super Mario 64.
That blew my mind, by the way. I saw that live and I was watching it with friends, and I remember I was the first one to just laugh at it. Like, did he?
Was it?
I watched it live. It was at E3.
Yeah, no. I mean, I think it's also the same game footage where you have fake god rays.
Was it? And they showed like the hairy arms and stuff, and I was like, wow.
Yeah, I think I don't remember which Call of Duty had fake god rays where you could clearly see the sun on the sky, and then you had random ass god rays.
Oh, like coming from a completely different direction. Yeah.
Damn, that's funny. But yeah, one last nomination I want to talk about, just VR Game of the Year, Elder Scrolls Skyrim VR, which isn't like... It's like how I was complaining about PUBG Mobile in Game Awards. It's not really a VR game. It's a pretty bad, like, lazy VR port.
Did you play it?
No, but I've seen... Okay, so actually I wanted to talk about this at some point. You know the really iconic, pretty cool Skyrim opening? You're like on a wagon to your execution. They push you over to the tubes, what's it called? I don't know. The execution stone. You're lying down. Chopping block. You see the dragon. They're about to cut off your head. Yeah, in VR, you would think it's like a perfect opportunity to really put you in those shoes. You have to bend over, put your head down. No, none of that. Instead, the game fades to black and then fades back in, and you're suddenly lying down, even though in real life you're standing up. Like, they didn't even want to reprogram that scene, which could have been so powerful to put you in the shoes. Like, imagine, because, like, I don't know if I think, Thomi, you played Accounting. It's just a funny little game. Yeah. Like, there's a very small joke where you actually put your head in a guillotine, and it's kind of scary, even though it's a funny game. So to have done that in Skyrim would have been really cool, and they just, like, they didn't bother with that. Or you don't even open cupboards and stuff. You just click on it, and a menu pops up. I mean, I get it. The game wasn't built from the ground up to be VR, but then they shouldn't have charged fucking 60 euros for it. So to me,
I think they charged 60 for Fallout 4 VR, but,
and Skyrim. Maybe 40. I don't. Either way, way too overpriced. But I'm pretty sure it was full price. But regardless, I don't think it deserves to be in here. VR chat. Okay, I mean that's pretty. I guess it was a pretty big explosion. Beat Saber. They're both really fun games, but there's cooler VR games than this. I don't know. Like Super Hot, I think is really fun. But
yeah, that game was great.
Again, these are just kind of like really big names. Yeah, I don't know. Again, I want to play Skyrim VR and Fallout VR, but not for full price. But yeah, those are my opinions on the Steam Awards.
Oh, you forgot the greatest announcement of all, Sheep, unless you did it last week. I don't know.
Go on. I probably
Your
did.
4th season pass for
Rainbow Six Siege. No, we did not talk about it. Yeah, I'm not buying this one either. I bought the first 2. Nah, because I just have enough in-game money to buy all the characters I want anyway. I mean, whatever, it's an optional thing. I actually think the way Siege does its content is pretty decent to not separate the community. It's just like, you can get the characters, you can get the maps, but if you pay us extra money, you
you know they pulled back the changes for the Chinese market they announced.
Yeah, we talked about it on the podcast.
We talked about it.
Yeah. Alright, so the final article I have in my list to talk about really blew my mind. I thought it was very cool. So NVIDIA has developed, this is an article on PC Gamer. The video is unlisted on YouTube, but there's an entire article about it. The article is called NVIDIA's AI is generating totally believable human faces and completely cursed cats. So, have you seen this, Guf?
Yes, I've seen it.
So let me post it in Discord.
Sorry.
Oh my god, that cat is cursed.
Okay, so just watch the video for a sec. Basically, I'm gonna assume, I don't think they described it here, but I think the way technology like this has existed for a while, and it's typically done through basically analyzing multiple different photos, I believe, and generating faces out of all that stuff. So all the images we see here, every single one, I believe, as the video states, is produced by this machine. And it's honestly just amazing. Like, so basically, you can see, wait, let me try to use my mouse here. So on the left side here is basically a face that's been generated by the machine. And then at the top, they have all the categories. So the first row, the first column is basically a man's face, then second woman, child, etc. And you can see how like it morphs and creates these incredibly believable faces. And
that's just scary, yo.
It's so cool to me. Like, they all look so real. Like, they look like real people, but they're not. I thought that was really cool. And they actually show how basically detailed the generation is. So they actually separate each category. There's like multiple categories. So there's like the pose and all that stuff, which they take from other things. And then they've got noise filters, which will basically change the way the hair moves. They show it off a little bit here, or the background, stuff like that. yeah, I mean, I don't know how this can be incorporated into games. I mean, I'm sure they'll find some sort of way to do it. I just thought it was really cool tech. And they actually did one later on in the video for vehicles and cats. The vehicle one actually, I thought like, there's no way that's not real. That must be photos of cars, but they're actually generated photos because you can see the front of the car actually turns into the back sometimes. It's so weird. It's so weird.
Wait, is that in the
So
video
wait,
too?
is this
Yeah, it's towards the end
demo?
of the video.
It's a tech demo, right? Like for the hardware they have, or
Well,
it
this
like
is
a
the hardware at
demo?
work.
All right.
Yeah, I believe.
Yeah, that's where we're heading.
Yeah, I believe this is. But they really look real. Like there's not a thing in them that makes me doubt that they're real at all. 0% doubt. It's just they look like real people, and yeah, I can only imagine what kind of how we'll be implementing that in the future. But yeah, I thought that was really cool. And there's actually a cool moment in 350, which basically shows you how all the faces are being formed from the same face. When they take the slider to the middle, you can see that they're actually all the same person.
Yeah.
And then it morphs them all later on into other stuff. And yeah.
Like, that's so weird.
Yeah, you should give the full video a watch if anyone's interested. It's really cool. But yeah, I thought that was very interesting. Again, I don't know the uses for this or how it can be implemented, but I thought that was very cool. It gives me sort of Deus Ex or Terminator vibes, stuff like that. Just like these dystopian sci-fi. I don't know. Like this can be misused in some way.
Yeah, dude, that's like really scary. If you want to be scared, just think about I don't know if I mentioned this I mentioned it to somebody recently, but just imagine what you can do with face recognition. Like the future warfare is gonna be maybe just drones. If you want to assassinate somebody, you can in like a couple of years we'll have like tiny ass drones that just fly through your head. And they use face recognition to recognize who you are, so you can just send an assassin drone somewhere and kill somebody with face recognition. It's like scary.
Yeah, wasn't there? Yeah, there was. I think in the Hitman reboot there was a mission like that where it's like a bullet that only kills someone that it's programmed for or something.
Yeah, like it sounds like it's far in the future, but it's not. Just look at this shit. It's like it's right around the corner.
I mean, I don't know how this is related though. This is just like showing you how you can generate realistic faces.
Yeah, but like it also shows that the computer knows what a face is and what a face looks like. And yeah. It's a scary future.
That's what governments are for, regulated. So still be free, and China can be in total oppression.
I mean, yeah, that's different governments though. Like not everybody trusts the government, but yeah, whatever.
Have any of you been playing anything interesting recently? So anything new? I mean, yeah, I've got one suggestion if you can't think of anything.
Well, I just discovered something and I will play it. Like
Alright.
a game I've been waiting for 5.5 fucking years.
Alright.
Go ahead.
Got released last week. I just noticed it's Below. It has been announced in E3 2013. And now
Maybe I've seen it and forgot about its existence. Below game is it on Steam? Can I find the Steam page?
Yeah, it is on Steam. Yeah.
Below Steam.
Came out on 14th of December.
Let's see. Oh, it came out, right?
Yeah. I just bought it.
If the page will load. I'm not sure if I've seen it before. So what is it?
I don't think I have.
A solitary journey through the haunted depths of a forbidden isle. Explore, survive, discover. Alright. Okay, I mean it just seems atmospheric.
If you watch the trailer, like I really love the art style.
Yeah, the art style.
And
cool.
in 2013 there weren't that many like it was the
it's a
dawn
roguelike.
of roguelites. No, not the dawn. Sorry, the rise of the roguelites, and this the like. Now they are a bit late to the party, but still I will play this because I really love the aesthetic of it.
Yeah.
So far.
All right, let us know how it goes.
You should definitely, like, pictures don't do it justice. You should check out the trailer.
Yeah, I watched it a little bit. Let me see. What have I been playing?
I have a thing we can all talk about. Let's talk about Insurgency.
Insurgency, yeah. Man, I'm really happy my video did well. I sold a lot of copies of that game, and most importantly to you guys, because now we have basically a full squad for pretty much any match we want to play. I love when that happens. It's so rare. Like it happened with Rising Storm as well.
I got like 3 people to like at least consider it. 1 bought it already, and 2 are on the verge. I think I can definitely get 1 more over.
Nice. Yeah, we had that with Rising Storm as well. It's so fun to just play with a full squad of cool people that are like trying to communicate.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
100%.
yeah, you guys are enjoying it.
Yeah, I've really enjoyed the first one. I played it. I'm just missing like I'm sad that the new one doesn't have MP42 in it for the Insurgents.
Yeah.
But, like actually any like really old guns they have. Actually no, there is an SKS somewhere.
Maybe I should look into like the old Insurgency. I remember playing it a little bit. I don't know how many hours do I have in that game. But yeah, the new one I did not expect to have so much fun. I have 4 hours in the old one. The new one I just really didn't expect anything really from it. Then I saw Sheep's video and I was like, this actually does look interesting, because I remember the old one was really slow. Like you died and then you're out for like a minute or 2.
Well, that didn't change, I suppose.
I mean, you're not out for quite so long. And yeah, the gunplay feels really good, but like my main complaint with this game is it's so incredibly buggy. Everything is buggy. Dude,
I didn't experience it.
I didn't. Yeah, I'm not. I know you experienced.
Okay, some bugs, but not like breaking.
Maybe it's because my graphics are low, but there's a lot of rocks in like really popular areas where it's like, yeah, this rock is just missing its bottom. You can see through it.
No, I don't. I'm also on low graphics currently, and I haven't seen. Like I saw you recorded a clip of you teleporting, which that is fucking bad.
Yeah, it wasn't competitive too. Competitive, by the way.
Oh my god.
So like in competitive you start 5v5 and there's 3 points. It's kind of like domination but with a twist where like you only respawn when you get you only respawn if you capture a point, but other than that it's 5v5. So it's really important that you get like to the points as fast as possible and you start capturing them when you start like getting the main point. And usually in those game modes you get 1 point for each team and then 1 that's uncontested at the start. And the game just randomly decided to, hey, let's teleport you at the start of the game, just fly to the other side and go capture B. Can you do that for me? I'm like, sure, okay, cool.
Man.
So it just took me there.
That's bad. But it only happened once, right?
It only happened once, yeah. Then there's stuff where like your gun kind of just, I can't even describe it. It just transforms into a mesh of weird textures and it just like
I haven't had any of that.
Wrong with your graphics card. Like the only thing I had graphically in game, like in a match, was one of the guns was missing its magazine, like its clip. That's it.
Yeah, it's not even just like all graphical stuff. I had like 3 situations where I just got stuck somewhere. Like yesterday I got stuck in sandbags. And then like 2 days ago, I like vaulted on a position that looked like, oh yeah, you can totally go there. And I vaulted over it, and then like I was in an infinite falling animation, and eventually just got completely stuck and had to leave the game because nobody even found me, so they couldn't kill me.
Yeah, I've seen some hitbox. I think they need to like adjust some of their hitboxes for even. There's some places that I think Thomi, you climbed somewhere where you shouldn't have been able to climb. Yeah, stuff like that.
And
and the issues with the levels, I hope they will be fixed soon. But like they were all overlooked because even if you compare it to the first one, the levels are incredibly they're well made levels.
They're pretty well made, but there's like a lot of design stuff that I really don't agree with, like invisible walls all over the place.
I didn't run into a single invisible wall, by the way. So I think you're just playing in a really specific.
No. Well, no, I'm not like I just look. I'm not like trying to break the game or anything. I'm just like, oh, this rock looks cool. I wonder if you can climb on it. And then it's like, oh, you literally just can't walk past this because there's an invisible wall. I had no like I could like probably right off the bat, I could show you like 6 or 7 places where there's literally just invisible walls. Not even like, oh yeah, this rock is too high to jump on. No, it's just like it doesn't let you climb on it.
I think
because
one
the game doesn't want
common complaint in our group, our friend group or whatever, is that it's not very clear where you can go. Like whether it's invisible walls or just out of combat area. Like you're like, oh, I'm gonna run.
Yeah, the
I'm
out of combat area is 8 too.
Yeah, I'm gonna advance to that cover, and then you realize, oh, I'm out of combat here. I need to run back now, and hopefully no one sees me on the way, or like waste your time, or makes you vulnerable. Yeah. So
when you're out of combat area, by the way, you cannot shoot.
After a
couple seconds, it retracts your gun and you cannot shoot back. Like and it killed me like so many times just because you're out of combat area and then you don't know where to go back because you're still like sort of in the combat zone, and then the lines are really arbitrary. It's like, oh yeah, this like quarter of this road is outside and 3/4 are in. But if you go 10 meters further, like a quarter of the road is inside, and then back down the line it goes bigger again. It's like,
they did it in Rising Storm, and I didn't feel so confused there because it was pretty obvious. It was like, that is where the enemies are coming from, and it's more or less, even though the maps are really big in Rising Storm, I never felt that confusion. But yeah, here I'm always kind of like, oh, this is out of combat? Okay, fine. Yeah, let me go back. So
yeah,
that's something. But yeah, overall I'm really loving the game. Like,
it's a really fantastic game. I played for like a week. I don't know how many hours. Insurgency. Fuck, wrong one. I think I'm like 20 hours in.
Yeah,
I played way too much. It's 19 hours. I played way too much. It's great. It's replaced CS:GO for me for a little bit. Gotta be entirely honest.
Yeah, there's that.
Oh, and teammates are fantastic. If you ever go into like solo ranked, it's like it's even better than CS:GO. I think it helps that the game is so small. The smaller games are generally the more the nicer the people are.
Didn't you tell me recently that you had bad teammates though?
Sometimes you have bad ones, yeah, but most of the time
not toxic though.
Yeah, not toxic, just toxic. Really bad.
Yeah, it's because it's a smaller community for now. Yeah.
It's the same as when Siege started. Though.
Yeah.
So yeah, and Siege is now dead in terms of communication.
Yeah,
not dead, but
it surprised me though. I played a ranked match 1-2 months ago with one of you. It was only like 2 of us, and none of the other teammates communicated. Not a single one of them. And I mean, yeah, Counter-Strike. Most of the times, like, yeah, the issue will be toxicity or people speak another language. But for the most part, people are trying to communicate, even if it's really poorly. Yeah, I don't know. It was surprising.
It's like much better than CS:GO.
Yeah. I recently had 2 cravings for older games. Me, Simi, and Thomi played a bit of Worms because I've been wanting to play that for the last like 6 months.
Oh God.
Man, I love, like, I just missed it. It was kind of, it got a little bit tiring. It basically suffered of Assassin's Creed syndrome, where every year there was a new Worms, and they're kind of all the same, more or less. They tried to innovate at Revolution, and I thought that was a really good game. And then they tried to innovate with WMD. They tried to innovate a little bit with all of them, actually, to a certain aspect. But it was kind of more or less the same formula. You didn't need all of the Worms games. But yeah, it's still timeless though. Like, I've been playing them since I was a kid, since primary school kid, and now I'm 22. And yeah, I love Worms, man. It's got like a perfect mix of random bullshittery, but also skill. Like, I don't know. It's so fun. It's so fun.
Perfect mix unless you spawn on the 2 bridges and people fucking shoot you from above, and then you fall
baffling that
into the water.
Yeah, it's almost baffling that the series almost died actually.
Yeah, it's just they were overdoing it. I think they were doing too many.
No, the transition to 3D didn't work out good. Like,
that wasn't when it was. You're saying that's when it almost died. I thought it was after that.
Yeah.
Like,
they brought out like 2 or 3 3D games, and then the series was almost dead because no one bought those.
By the way, I loved the 3D games. I think they're really special in their own way. They're really fun in their own way, because they play differently.
Yeah, but the people still didn't.
Yeah, I know most people didn't. Yeah, there was a really interesting Worms game called Forts Under Siege, which I was like, oh, why is it not on PC? I really want to play on Steam, and then I realized it's on GOG, which was weird. But yeah, it's a game where it's the most different Worms game. It's set in medieval times, and if I remember correctly, you could basically build towers and then shoot catapults out of them, and it was pretty different to other Worms games. But yeah, it was a 3D one as well. And then Worms Crazy Golf was also pretty weird. But yeah, I hope they take a break from Worms and then do it again. But it seems Team 17 is now focusing on just publishing games instead of making them, because they've been publishing a lot of stuff recently.
Yeah, they came out of nowhere, and I forgot they existed for many years. But now I'm like, yeah, cool. I remember them from Worms. They published Overcooked too as well.
Yeah, Overcooked, and they were one of the publishers, I think, that's gonna move to Epic Store for one of their games. But they said, I think it was Alpha Gemini. It was a pretty generic name for their game. But I think they were one of the ones that said it'll come to Steam eventually. But yeah. Let me see. Oh, another game I've also been craving for a very long time, Brutal Legend. I only played it back when it came out, and I've been wanting to play it for the last 1 or 2 months now, and yeah, that's been really fun. Have you guys played Brutal Legend?
Yes.
I sent my sister like a key, I think, or I was like, this looks like a game you might enjoy, and then she tried it. She was like, this is garbage. I haven't tried it though.
Is she into metal though? Because you kind of
no.
Oh well, yeah.
There is so much homage on all the metal, like really big figureheads.
Yeah, like you get a kick out of it if you're, even if you don't listen to metal, but maybe you enjoy the aesthetics or the themes, or if you enjoy Jack Black. Like there's so many things that you need. There's so many things that are there for you to possibly like, and then you latch onto that thing, and then you get into the game. Like it has its problems, but I think it's a really cool game for the most part. I've been having fun with that. Nothing else new. I talked a little bit about Arizona Sunshine. That's kind of it. I have a few new games I need to review soon, but I'll talk about those when I actually get to playing them.
Oh yeah, I've been playing Monster Hunter World.
Yeah, soon there's gonna be some more events.
For Monster Hunter?
I mean, yeah, we're waiting for like a new monster that's gonna be coming out soon.
Well, this Friday is the second event quest we have to do.
Yeah, there you go. So, but yeah, I'm glad to see the game.
I'm pretty much finished with Valhazak now. So load his ass.
Yeah.
We still have to beat him again. Don't forget.
Yeah, I know. We'll do it at some point. Yeah, nothing else, Rage?
I've been watching a few movies, but games, no.
Alright. Guf, you played Beholder 2 kind of recently.
Yes.
You want to talk about that a bit?
Well, I haven't gotten that far into it, because I started playing Insurgency Sandstorm instead.
Sorry about that.
But, well, it's a bit different than the first one.
Which is, but it seems like in a good way, right? Like
yes, but it's at the same time it's similar, so it's a bit of both. But it seems pretty interesting so far.
Okay, so you haven't played enough to comment that much.
No, not really.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah, it does seem cool. I like that they're trying to do something new-ish, but keep the formula.
Oh, it's in 3D.
Yeah, it's 3D. It's not. I don't think you run an apartment complex anymore.
Huh.
I mean, the graphics is 3D, but you don't really move in 3D.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I need to get back to Beholder 1. Oh my god. Beholder 1 and Frostpunk are both like depressing games, and both of them I left off. And I need to get back to them now after weeks of not playing, and for Frostpunk months of not playing.
Frostpunk you should just
start again.
And you can play because you couldn't play because your
my GPU died.
GPU died. Yeah.
Yep.
Damn, I really need to try Frostpunk.
Yeah, it's kind of ironic. It's a game about freezing, but my GPU overheated. So there you go.
Yeah. Is the new map for PUBG out yet?
Yeah. I think it came out
today, right?
Came out today, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll try it at some point.
We should get onto that.
I would need to re-download the game.
Yeah. I have. There's also this new Siege season I need to try, and I need to play Just Cause 4 still.
Many video games.
Yep.
Well,
and I've just been digging into the old stuff.
Yeah, I also recently bought really cheaply the latest expansion for Guild Wars 2 and want to dive back into that as well.
Yeah, if you do, then we won't see you for a while, I guess.
No, not
it's an
necessarily.
MMO.
I will just try out some stuff. Maybe some World vs. World again.
All right.
I would need to find a guild for that, but let's see, I suppose.
All right.
Make your own.
What, Tommy?
Just make your own.
Yeah, make your own.
You need a lot of people for World vs. World. It's
I mean-
basically whole servers pitted against each other.
Wait, how many people are we talking? Like 50, 60?
Over 100 per side, and there are 3
Oh
sides.
boy, that I would die.
On one map, when there are active wars.
Yeah, that sounds like way too much work for me.
Oh yeah, like when I was active in it, I was in a guild, like the biggest guild for our server at the time, and it was like there was a lot of organization going on. Like you have schedules, and then so it's not just organizing the people to come together, but for a successful raid, you need leaders that know their stuff. Like they know where to place siege weapons. They know
I know.
they know pop tactics. They have to tell you when to dodge, when to run away, when maybe to go like casters to cast invisibility for everyone, to sneak up on the enemy mob and stuff like that.
I know exactly what you mean. I've been like co-leader of a guild in WoW for like the past half year. Well, before I take a break. But it's the same thing. You need 25 people. Every single one needs the right gear. You need the right people, and they all need to know exactly what's happening at any time. And it's fucking difficult.
That's the funny thing about the World vs. World. You don't need not everyone needs like you can go whatever you want. You will be less effective.
Yeah,
but
it helps.
It's more about the mass. Like,
yeah. You just need to get whatever you can get. Yeah.
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 All right.
I just hope this scene is still a bit more. It's just I don't know how many people are still playing Guild Wars 2. Check it out, guys.
Yeah, I need to get on that. I downloaded it once and then never played that.
Oh, if you ever want to, I would gladly play with you.
Sure.
All right.
I have one more game.
Yeah, go for it.
It's fair. I don't know. Not many people know this game, I think. I just played it just before the stream. It's called Kenshi, and I think I bought it 3 years ago, and I played it for 20 hours and was I was enjoying it quite a bit. Apparently that game has 12 years of development behind it, of a team of 4 to 6 people. And I didn't see too much change from 1.0. It's still really, really buggy. It's essentially, it's kind of weird to explain what it is. It's sort of do whatever you want to do, but also play whatever game you want to play. So you can, it's top down. You can build your own city. You also have all of those RPG elements of Baldur's Gate or whatever, except not turn-based. Where you have different weapons with different damages. You gotta equip your squad with all the right things, get them the right armor, get them the right weapons. But you can go to towns and recruit new people. You can do quests and stuff, but there's also a pretty intricate trading system where you can go from one end of the map, which is, by the way, insanely massive, from one end of the map to the other, and buy stuff cheap here, sell it somewhere else. You get invaded by bandits. They try and kill you. You can treat the game as a real-time strategy game where you just get your squad. You get all your building material. You set up camp next to an iron vein, and then you just you just grab the iron, you sell it. You build a couple houses to store all that stuff. You build chests. You need to feed your people. There's so many different games in there, and it's a bit crazy. And it seems like a really, really interesting thing. If somebody's into all of that at once, I recommend you should probably check it out. I played 2 hours now, 3 hours maybe, since 1.0, so I can't really talk too much. But it's interesting and really different to anything I've ever played before.
Yeah, seems interesting. Seems cool. Although it does seem also a little bit old and janky, but
it's
I think
buggy still. Yeah.
Yeah, really open RPG kind of games tend to be in a way. I don't know.
Yeah, sort of.
All right, cool. Anything else, guys, or should we wrap it up?
Oh, I don't have anything. I played old shit. I finished KOTOR 2. Started KOTOR 1 again because I can.
All right.
Yeah, old stuff.
Okay. Well, let's end it here then, guys. Thank you very much for joining us. What did I released a video like this week. I wanted to give it a little shout out. Well, anyway, thank you for joining us, guys. I'm trying to find it on my way. Oh yeah, this is a game I want to talk about. All right, I'll just talk about it really quickly. A VR game where you talk to an AI, and the game is meant to basically help you improve in your English. And you're talking to a pirate, and
Cyprus is not a real country.
Yeah, I told him. He's asked me where I'm from, and I was like, I live in Cyprus, and he said, "Are you sure that's a country?" Actually, I sounded more party than him because he sounds like a lame-o like text-to-speech. But it's a really funny video. You should check it out. Called "Talking to an AI in VR: The Secret of Puffin Cove" on MrWoodenSheep's channel. That's me. So
if
yeah.
you're not sold on Insurgency, watch his Insurgency video too. That's like the best video ever.
Wow.
It actually is really funny.
Thanks. I appreciate it. Yeah, there was a funny guy over there. All right. Cool. Thank you. Check out my channel. Check out Ragewild and Guf on Insurgency Sandstorm. Make sure you kill them, get killed by them, be their squad mates, be their observer if they're a commander. And check out Thomi on YouTube if you want some laughs as well. But that's it for our show. Huh?
Nothing.
What? I didn't understand what you said.
Nothing. Right. Just keep going.
Cool. All right. Fuck this guy. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.